Hi everyone again, this is Miss Joanne, and we're going to do part 2 of the Surprise Garden book. Yesterday we did part 1, and the title is The Surprise Garden because, do you remember why? What do you think they did in the book? Do you remember? Do you recall what we talked about yesterday? That's right, they planted a garden. What were they using to plant that garden? They were using some little tiny things. What were they called? If you said seeds, you're correct. Yeah, they were planting seeds in this book, weren't they? Well, the author is Zoe Hall, and an author does what? Writes the words, and the illustrator is Shari Halperin. An illustrator does what? They draw the pictures. Okay, so let's continue where we left off from yesterday. This is the page that we left off on yesterday. And as you can see, if we go back a little bit, it all started with, what did we say this was? Right, seeds. They were planting seeds. And look at the wonderful things that grew. Surprise, look at all of this. Before long, the petals fall off, and surprise, we see peas, beans, and squash. So peas, beans, and squash. They grew all those wonderful things. On some plants, leaves grow close to the ground. Surprise! We see spinach and lettuce. So that would be spinach. Notice how they're big, dark, leafy leaves. And lettuce. Both of these plants go very close to the ground. They both look different, don't they? But you know the interesting thing about this one? We can eat the leaves. That's right. We can actually eat the leaves. We eat the spinach leaves, and we eat the leaves of lettuce as food. Now, not all plants do we eat the leaves, but in this case, we can. And I think rabbits like them too. And what's growing here? Surprise! We see broccoli and cauliflower. So there's broccoli and cauliflower. And yeah, we can eat the broccoli. It looks like a flower, doesn't it? Inside the middle. And we can also eat cauliflower. Cauliflower actually does look like a flower. In this case, it's like we can actually eat the flower of the plant. Now, can we eat all flowers of the plants? Not usually, right? So some leafy plants we can eat, some flower plants we can eat. In this case, we have broccoli and cauliflower. They also grow very low to the ground and look very different, don't they? Is anything growing here? Surprise! We find carrots and radishes that are growing underground. So although you can't tell what this is above ground, underground, when you pull it up, guess what? This is the root. You're eating an actual root, but this root is called a carrot. So in this case, we actually can eat roots, right? Which is very interesting. Radishes are the same way. You only see the leaves above ground, but underground, the root grows, and the root can actually be eaten. It's a radish, and people eat radishes, and people eat carrots in soups and salads and all kinds of things. In this case, it's an edible root. Here is the longest plant in our garden. Flowers bloomed on this plant too. Surprise! We found a big, what did she find? I'm not even going to tell you. You tell me, what did she find? What kind of big fruit is that? So big she can barely hold it. If you said watermelon, yes, it's a watermelon. And what makes a watermelon a fruit? It has little tiny Seeds inside, yeah, that's what makes a fruit. A fruit has tiny seeds inside. They grow along the ground on vines, just similar like pumpkins do. Watermelons also grow along the ground on vines. Here are some of the tallest plants in our garden. It's what kind of flower is that? Anybody recognize it? What kind of flower do you think that is? Remember, it's the one with the seeds in the center. All the seeds can be found right in the middle of this one. We call that a sunflower. Why is it called a sunflower? Because it looks like the sun all around it. It looks like the rays of the sun are the petals. And remember, it's those pretty colorful petals that attract birds and insects so that they can land on it. Maybe this bird will pick a seed and drop a seed somewhere else so another sunflower can grow, right? Remember, we call that pollination. And there are different kinds of flowers. Some of them have pollen inside that are very sticky, and it sticks to the legs of insects or the wings of an insect. And when like a bee, if a bee flies from flower to flower, that's also pollination. It can grow more flowers that way. By the way, this makes a tasty treat. People eat sunflower seeds, so yes, we can eat seeds too. Some people actually roast them and eat them. All summer long, the food in our surprise garden ripens. We like to pick the food. They are busily working together as a team to pick all the wonderful things that they grew in their garden. And surprise, they found out what everything was. What are they doing here? It looks like they're enjoying everything that they picked. Look, they're enjoying watermelon that they grew. They're enjoying a big salad made from the lettuce that they grew, and maybe the spinach and all the other vegetables. And the carrots, they are having a very nice picnic. After all their hard work of working together as a team, they can now enjoy everything that they planted in their surprise garden. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to hold this up for you closer so that you can see it. I know it's very small. Okay, so here we have these seeds grow into pea and bean plants. We eat the seeds and sometimes the pods of the plants. So that would be a pea plant. These tiny seeds grow into spinach and lettuce plants. The leaves are good to eat. So remember, those leaves are good to eat. This is spinach and lettuce. These small seeds grow into broccoli and cauliflower plants. The plants we eat are really flower buds. So next time you eat broccoli, you're actually eating a flower bud. Hard to believe, but yeah. These tiny seeds grow into carrots and radish plants. We eat the roots that grow underground. So remember, carrots and both radishes grow under the ground. They're actually the roots of a plant. So you're actually eating roots there. And let's see. These seeds grow into squash and watermelon plants. We eat these plants' fruits. Here's a squash and here's a watermelon. What makes them fruits? They have, look at these little black things in here. You can see it in the watermelon. They have seeds. Yeah, that's what makes it a fruit. And remember what we call this flower, right? The striped seed grows into a sunflower plant. We eat the seeds of the sunflower. So in the middle of this flower are thousands of little tiny seeds. and then they can be eaten, or they could even be planted to make a new what? A new sunflower, right? So it's a cycle. It goes around and around. The seed is planted, the plant grows. You can take the seed from the plant and then plant a new seed. And there you have it. That was part 2 of The Surprise Garden. I hope you enjoyed this book. You can talk about it with your family and draw some pictures. I'd like to see a picture so that we can share them next week with everybody for our daily focus. All right, you take care. Bye. See you later.